for being on the call. Recording has started. I will then come to share my screen so that we will take it from there. I will just, let me hide deliberately, right? Let me hide this one so that when I come here, it doesn't show. So I'll put this on projection mode. And 2 weeks ago, we started looking at understanding some keywords, all right, in SQL. And Joseph is here with us again. Last session, he was here to help us expose some of those things, all right. And I believe a lot of people saw or learned how to use some of those things in SQL. So this is Joseph. Of course, he's going to be coming up first before Miriam would come in. So we can always connect with, with any of them. And just so now, this is the community engagement, or this is a community. So we are a family. And the purpose of doing these things is to help ourselves get better. They can share their stories too. So you will hear how they also, we are all still learning, all right? And the more we learn, the more we interact with ourselves, the better we'll become. Now, this is Miriam. Miriam would also be sharing, as she proceeds to explore some of those things, I'm sure she will talk about, she would also talk about her journey, and we can also learn. But just know that we are all learning to get better, right? This is Olajide. I'm part of the family. Nothing that we are hiding from ourselves in terms of we always want to share things with us so that we get better. So this family is here to just support. And those are the things I have on my own slide, is just to uh, introduce them and call them forward. So Joseph, I will call you now. I will stop sharing, right, so that you can then proceed. I'll stop sharing now.
Right.
So go ahead, please, so that you can take it away.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jide. So I will be sharing my screen now. Please do let me know when you can see my screen.
Definitely, I will. Yes, I can see your screen. I can see you on Teams.
All right. So let's open up the database management. Right.
Let us confirm if others can see your screen too. All right, I can see thumbs up. That means they can see your screen.
All
I can
right.
see the
So,
screen.
all right,
Okay.
before you start
Beautiful.
properly, please, there are no stupid questions. Be free to ask questions. If anything is not clear, I'm sure they will be able to do due diligence and clarify. For people that just joined the community, we will try and see how, for people that are just saying that they couldn't gain access on how to install SSMS and the SQL server, we will deal with that later since the link has expired. But just so you know that, just like you have Excel, when you launch Excel, it's open. Just like you have Power BI, when you launch Power BI, it's open. Also, SQL also has its own environment where we call it up. So there is an engine, and engine has to have life, just like we have life and we have body. So SSMS is the body for that gives platform to SQL server. So, but that is not what we want to show right now. For people that just
Yeah.
joined, we'll be showing that
Okay.
later. So go ahead,
Mm.
Joseph.
All right, Mr. Jide. So like you rightly mentioned, when you open up your engine, the SSMS, it brings you to this interface where you now connect the server to the machine. And I believe that we all have the sample database that we shared on the WhatsApp group, which gave us these four tables: the customer group A and B, the personal, and the work. Right. So I'll be looking at three things today, three particular topic, which would be the case statement, the joins, and updating. So we'll be looking at those three. Let me quickly. So we'll be looking at your case statements. We'll be looking at joins, and then we'll be looking at updating.
Just a moment. Please be free to ask questions. If anything is looking like, what is this, or I don't understand, please be free to ask. But if you're just joining, this community has been existing since last year, right? Since last year, April. So we have a lot of things shared on the YouTube, a lot of interactions that we have had before now. But my point is, if what we are doing, what Joseph is starting with is looking somehow, Joseph, you just need to do a brief of, you won't demonstrate really, just talk about before they get here, you get the point. No, don't cancel
Yeah.
everything. Just,
Okay.
it's just to talk about before they get here, so that they don't just find themselves here, you get the point, like, where are we all? So that way, everyone is fine. Please go ahead. Thank you.
All right then. Yeah. So like Mr. Ajide already mentioned, we've had the some sessions already, and this is a continuation of the last session that we had 2 weeks back. So 2 weeks back, we looked at some particular topics. We looked at topics like the select statement. We looked at let me type it out so we can see it and remember. So we looked at the select statement, and the select statement always goes with the from statements, right? And then we looked at group by. We looked at group by, and then we did union and union all, right? And then we take a little bit dive into aliasing. So please, this will be for everyone. Out of everything, these topics that we have touched on, is there anyone that you think we should turn a little bit, go just do a little bit refresh on? Or are we good? Can we move ahead? Or is there something that we should just refresh on particularly?
We're not
Maybe
here.
we
That
should,
we're not here.
and maybe we should proceed. It is recorded on YouTube. You got the point. We'll
Okay.
just reshare the
Okay.
link you get for people that were not around. So if they now watch the video and they have questions, of course, we'll now treat that in the next class you get, bro. I hope that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
fine.
Okay.
All right
Thank you.
then. Good. So today we'll be looking at joins. We touched on it briefly, but let's do a deep dive into it today. So now joins are simply combining two or more tables, getting information from each of these tables to form a single particular table. It's like you're taking some part of table A and some part of table B to form a new table C. Now let's put that into context. So let's look at our table. So let's take this. So you can drag this in, just drag it from your database and put it in, or you can simply type it. If I decide to type it, it will still appear. So if I say personal, you can see it here. So I just like to drag it. It makes it a lot easier. And let's see the second table. All right, so we don't want to take every single row from there. I just need a sample of this data. So if you remember, we said something about top n, and n stands for the number that you want from that stuff. Yeah. So I want to pick the top, say 10, and from this one too, I need the top 10. So let's run this. Now, if you look at these two tables, right? These are informations of a staff. these are the staff's personal information, and this is the information of that staff from work. Now you can see their first name and the last name. From work, you can see the department, how much they earn, the rank, and the service year. You can also see their last appraisal. But for the personal, you can see their personal phone number, their email, the street, and the rest. Now, if you look at these two tables, what do they have in common? What they have in common is the ID, right? You can see that Lydia Ashley has an ID of 5724. And also in the other table, Lydia Ashley still has 5724. Now, for you to use joins, for joins to work, you need to have a distinct column that are the same in both tables. Now, if you have the ones that don't have a distinct column, you can use a cross join, but that might give you a little bit of issue, but it's mostly advisable for you to have a column that both of them are actually the same. A particular ID is assigned to a person. Now, if you look at this table, let's say for Lydia, right? I want to have his phone number, his email, and I also want to have his sales, the department that he's in, and the salary. So you can see that I'm trying to bring some information from table A and some information from table B to form a new table. Now, how do I do this? Let me reduce this down a bit. Right. Uh, last one. Right. And then we need the phone, the email, right, from this. And all right, so these are the columns that we want to take from this first table, the personal table, which is the first name, the last name, the phone, and the email. So if you remember, we said we are going to combine it with the department and the salary. Now, if I want to break down, I will take this step by step so we follow and we understand. Now, if I want to do that, if I wanted to write a different select statement for that, I would have said, wait, let me bring this in first. So I would say I need departments and I need salary. Yeah. Now, if you look at this, right? If I run this statement, this will give me just the first name, the last name, the phone number, and the email. If I run this other one, this will give me the department and the salary. Now, the goal, if you remember, is to join these two queries into one, right? And from there, we said that they have to have a unique column, which in this case is the ID. Now, let's look at how we are going to go about that. All right. So now I want to say select, I'll just copy this one here, put it here. Then copy this one too, put it here, right? Now, if you see something already, these two columns are already complaining. It's showing red. Anytime you are running a query and it's showing you red, that means there's something already wrong with that data. Something is already happening that should not be happening there. So how do we solve that, right? Now, you can see that you are trying to join the columns of two tables that are not the same. So if I now come here and I put the table name and I say this one is from personal dot first name. Let me just copy this and paste it so that it doesn't take us much time. Right. Personal phone name number. So this other table, right? This other columns is from the work database. So I put it work. It's showing you departments, which is what we have already. And then I put work on this one too. Now, if I now want to join it with the other table, I need to now put in your join statements, right? And how do we have the join statement? I come here and I say, on where personal dot id is equal to now. If I run this, you can now see that I've successfully joined these two separate tables into one. Now, let's look at this statement.
Just a moment, Joseph. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
As usual, we want you to break it down. Some people will be looking at what you have written and they don't understand. So help me use the layman language to, someone is already giving a thumbs up. Okay. Before Joseph goes on, what Joseph is trying to say is going to still reiterate, but what Joseph is saying that select means bring something, right? But we have two tables and we want to bring something from two tables. If you are going to bring something from two tables, there must be something they have in common. For people that carry knowledge of Power BI into this, in Power BI, we have tables and we establish relationships so that you can, if you want to do, is it merge, you know that you have to have a column here, column there, so that you can take something from that table with the establishment of relationship. So in this context here, that join is talking about relationship. I mean, he's talking about what they have in common. So you have to leverage on what they have in common. So the reason why Joseph used join in that place, either you now join whatever join is to say that what they have in common, you see that from a table called or from a database called work, DBO, work, and there is ID in that DBO called work, and there's ID in that DBO called personal. You can see that's why I said the relationship is on a column called ID. The ID is on personal. The ID is also on work. Does this make simple sense, just to be sure if it's clear? So Joseph, you can then further explain so that they understand maybe
But is
from the
there,
beginning.
sorry, before Joseph comes in, is there no duplication there? Because I see inner join DBO work on DBO personnel ID and then DBO work again ID. So why do you have the inner join DBO work alone?
Okay.
So Joseph, go ahead.
All right. So now that's why I didn't just dive into this at once. I took time to show you the two tables, select out the columns that we need in this before I joined it. Now let me explain again. So for this particular line, seems like you're having problem with this particular line. So I'll take it from there. So what happened is I said all of this, right? If you see that I mentioned that the personnel, I gave it the name, the table name, so that these codes will not be confused. I said the first name, the column first name, pick it from this table, personnel table. The column last name, pick it from the personnel table. The column phone, pick it from the personnel table. the column of email, pick it from the personnel table, but the column of department, pick it from the work table, and the column of salary, pick it from the work table. Because you're already working with two tables, you now say from the first table that you're working with, join it. I can just even remove this inner and just say join. Join it with this other table, because if you look at it, you're already quoting two tables, personnel and work. So you're saying
Joseph,
from.
I'm sure that she's clear now. Let's ask her if she understands. I'm
I'm
laughing
very
in a
clear
way. I
now. Thank
like
you very much. Thank you. I'm clear.
because the way you said it, I believe that anyone would understand. But if she already confirmed, because I was laughing, just don't mind because you already explained it. But if we have anyone that is not clear to, please be free to ask. Do we have anyone that this is not clear to? I like the way Joseph just explained now. So I believe it is clear, everyone. Can we proceed? I guess so. So please move on.
All right. So running this will give us this query that we have here. So we have successfully joined two different tables into one, as long as you have the common column that they have, right, that are the same, right? So this is your inner join. Now there are other joins that you could also look at. You can look at the this join is like the inner join. There's also outer joins. So the outer joins are like
Joseph,
the
sorry, I need you to now explain to some people in a layman what is the meaning of inner join.
Okay, yes. So the inner join that we are talking about now is that you are taking the columns that are the same, the data that are the same in both tables. Anything that is not in column in table A and table B, it will not bring it. So it has to be something that is similar on. I think it should be in math when we did I think it's a Venn diagram where we have like a four corner square and there are two circles inside of it. And the two circles have a point where they intersect. That intersection in that middle is our inner join. I don't know if that makes sense. Do we get that?
Yes, we are okay.
Okay, so now the outer join now, we are not talking about still using that Venn diagram, right? So the outer joins, we now have left outer join or right outer join. Now the left outer join is giving priority to the table on the left. It will bring everything, whether the things that are in the left are on the table on the right, it wouldn't matter. It will just go into that table of the left, bring everything, then go into that table on the right and bring what is similar to it, right? And then if we are using right outer join, it will give priority to the right table and bring what is similar on the left table. Are we clear on that? Hello, are we together?
Yes, we are clear.
Sorry. How do you know which one is the left table and the right table? Because from what I'm seeing here, the tables seem to be, one on top of the other. So why are we talking about left and right tables? Thank you.
Okay, good. So if we are going to use this diagram. So we are saying this query rather. So we say from this to this, right? We are joining these two tables. This is your left table. This is your right table. All right, the one that comes first, the left, one
All
that
right,
comes
that's
last.
that's clear. I get it now.
All right. So that's for that. Now, so let's look at one of these example. Okay. So let's see.
For anyone that is not clear to, I drop an image in the chat that will clarify inner join, full outer, left outer, right outer.
Okay,
I drop
so
it on chat here, not on WhatsApp, in
okay, so let's
the
look
chat
at
box here.
the chats so that to be clear. Right. So can we see it now? This is the inner join, the point where they intersect. Then this is the full outer join. This is the left, and this is the right. outer join. Now, if you look at this, certainly there's one that I like to use to illustrate, is in black and white, where the left one, now they will color all of this, right, and give this.
Yeah.
But would understand as we move on. Right. So let's go to this. So let's say we want to use okay. So please help us. Let's move this class together. So we want to do the a left outer join. So which means that this table here we have priority. Okay, I see something. We will not see the beauty of this because I think when I was creating these data sets, all the IDs are the same. If we had some IDs that the IDs that are here are more than this, like there are some things that are in this table A that are not in this table B, would have been able to enjoy the beauty of this because you will see some null values. But let's just try it. Right. So which table are we going to select? Let's suggest, let's work together. So which columns and which columns are we moving from table A and table B? Hello, let's work together. Let's suggest columns. What are we moving from table A and table B? What are we joining together to form our new table?
Everyone, you can participate. It's just
First
asking you
name,
to
last name.
suggest.
From the first table, first name, last name, and the state.
Okay, first name,
State and zip code.
last name, and states. All right, starts from table A. So what are we joining from table B?
Science year, last appraisal.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you please come again?
I said science year, then the last appraisal.
Okay, service year.
Sorry, service year, yes, and last appraisal.
And last appraisal. All right. Now, let's say from, I don't know, if you run this query with small letters, it will run, but I'm used to running them in capital. So pardon me if I always wipe it. So let's now put in this. Right. Now, please, to really indicate that we've been following, you can see that formally everything was on red, right? Everything is on red. But once I put this first table, some leave the red marker remove from under the column name. But these two are still showing red markers. Why is that? We talked about it before.
Because they are from a
Because they're not
different
coming
table.
from the same file.
Good. They are coming from table B. Right. So at least that shows that we are now following. So now this issue from the first one. So we want to do a left join. Now, so we now bring in this our order table. Right. Now, for us to make this work, we can alias this. Alias as let's call personal P. I would not advise for you to use one letter word because you might get confused. So, but for the case of this class, or let me just say PS. PS. So if I come here, anywhere, anything that comes from personal, if I now say PS, it will recognize it. So I can come here and say PS to recognize that it's personal. PS. It recognizes it. PS. Then I can alias this to as WK. So this just helps increase your workflow, and if you are joining a lot of tables, just alias it so you can start picking it. Or in cases where your table name is really long to help you. But you have to use more than one letter so that you don't get confused on what is what at the end of the day. All
Sorry,
right.
Mr. Joseph.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask briefly. I noticed that in the query, most of the columns appear in black, but states appears in blue. What's that about?
Okay, so if this is appearing in blue, that means that this state is a command already in SQL. So if you look at this select is in blue. Select is a command in SQL. Top is in blue. Anything that appears in blue is already a command in SQL, right? But we just wanted to use states, to signify the states. But it will still run, but if there's anything in blue, it's just showing you that that thing is already a command on SQL. So does that
Okay.
answer the question?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, good. Now, so we want to put let's join the personal and the work table on. This on statement is essential because it is not asking you that, okay, you say you want these columns from table A and these columns from table B. What do they have in common? What am I joining them on? So I'm joining both of them on PS. Remember, PS is now a personal ID, where PS ID is equal to WK dot ID. Right. So now, if I join this and I run it, so like I said, we will not really enjoy the beauty of this, but okay. Because if we had the two tables that are similar in some sorts, but there are some differences in the table, it will give priority to this our personal. So it will give priority to this table. It will give everything that is on this table and then only join it with what is on work table. So you can see that on work table that we have the service here and appraisal. If you scroll down, some things would have been showing you null, 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 because they don't have anything similar with the right table. Right? They don't have anything similar, but the join statement is saying that the most important table here is this table. So it will bring everything. This is the table of priority. I don't know if this makes sense, if we are moving along.
I
Hello,
can
are we
see thumbs
together?
up. I can see thumbs up. Yes, that means what is just trying to say is that he prepared this table for the class. If it's in real life, there are something that will come like null, null, null from the other table, which is not the main table, which is called priority table. I'm sure everyone understands, but if they don't, of course, they will ask questions.
All right. So that is for our left drawing, right? So let's look at the other one, the right drawing. Simply much the same thing, but this time around, the only difference is that you are now giving priority to the table that is on the right. So I can change this to right drawing, right? So if I run it, it will pretty much still give us the same thing, but I'm sure we understand what we are trying to do here. So the
So
right drawing.
just a moment, Joseph. I would rather you run the two together so that they can see the effect of left and right. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right, no problem.
So that they can see it.
All right. So let me make this stop 5. So we want to see the top 5 of these two. Right. So you can see the two tables, right? if we had a complete set like I explained before, you would have been seeing nulls. So this one is giving priority to the table on the left, while the other one is giving priority to the table on the right. Right. So is this clearer? Is this clear? Can we move on to the next topic, or do we have any question on this?
Miriam's hand is up.
All right, Miriam, please go ahead.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So that means we are good to go then. We should check another topic then. Right. So let's open.
Somebody has a
Hold
question.
on. There's a message for you.
Okay.
You can check the chat.
All right. So how can we know when to use each joins? Now, it depends on the query that you want to run or what you are trying to achieve, right? If you want, normally we'll just use inner join, but if you have a table of priority, like you said, okay, this table, let's say for example, the personal table, I want to see everything on that personal table. That one is the untouchable. I want to see everything there, but I want to see what it has in common with maybe the balance table, right? You will now use your left join, putting your personal table there, right? So that one, you know that you have given priority by yourself, because all the analysis we are doing here, they're not set on stone. It depends on what we are trying to achieve at a particular point. So when you want to give priority to a particular table in a query, so you just look at where the table is. If it's on the right, you make it a right join. If the table is on the left, you make it a left join. In that case, you have given priority to that table. But if you're not having any priority on any table, you just want to have what they have in common, then you just use your inner join. I don't know if that answers your question or if it's clear. Hello, Ganiat. Does that answer your question? Ganiat is not saying anything, so I'm
No,
guessing.
I'm sure she said yes. She dropped a chat for you.
Oh, okay. All right then. All right. So let's look at the case statements. Right. Now, this case statements, what this simply just does is that it allows you to set a certain condition. Now, for those that don't understand what I just did now, what I just did now is that I commented out these statements, right? You can see it here. It said comment out the selected lines. What that simply just means is that you can write this. Comments are usually good in your code if you're writing long codes. So you can easily break down each code and say, okay, this particular line of code, this is what it does. This particular line of code, this is what it does. But you have to comment it out, because you are telling SQL now that run every other code, but if you get to this ones, don't run it. Leave it. It's just there for naming sake. So you're not going to run it. That's why you commented it out. But if I uncomment it, you will see that it's already giving that, okay, there's something wrong with your statement here, right? But I just want to comment so that we can see it as our naming convention and know what we are going to do. And like I said, it's used for codes that are very long. So when you come back to that code, you can easily remember what you did here and what you did there. Now, this case statement, what it simply does is that it allows you to specify certain conditions and what should happen, what should be returned when those conditions are met, right? So it just simply says that, okay, go to Mama Bola's shop. If you see Mama Bola, buy rice and beans. But if you don't see Mama Bola, go to Mama Nkechi's shop. So you have given it two conditions. First, go to shop A. If you see Mama Bola, buy this and this. But if you do not see Mama Bola, there's another condition that you have to do. You have to go to shop B. If you see Mama Bola, buy this and this. But if you do not see Mama Bola, there's another condition that you have to do. You have to go to shop A. If you see Mama Bola, buy this and this. But if you do not see Mama Bola, there's another condition that you have to do. let's quickly look at a function. Right. So we want to say for let me quickly type this out. I'm sorry, you have taken more than the stipulated time. Let me just quickly.
Yes, I'm about to
rush
give
through
you 5
this.
minutes.
Okay. Let me all right, let me just. All right, so I'll quickly just rush through this. So let's say first name, last name, what else? Okay, sorry. Let's do a reminder on this. C2. Okay. All right. Now, so I've selected this first name, the last name, and the city from this table, right? Now I want to add a case statement to this, right? So I will now say I'll remove this one from this, right? I'll now come down here and use a case statement. Now, so I want to now say that there's a bad windshield, Jackson Heights, and Amaran. So I want to say case when the city is equal to then let's say we are living in Bubbly Town, because according to research, they can now assume that Anaheim is the happening part. Like some people will tell you that Lagos and Abuja and Port Harcourt are the three most happening or bubbly places in Nigeria. So we just want to give it that condition and say, okay, when the city is equal to this, then it is a bubbly town. Otherwise, else, I want to say that it is dull, right? So after your case statement, you have to put in your end from personnel table. Right. So let's run this. So you can see that it has given us a certain condition. So you can now see that anyone that shows that this is Anaheim, it is showing you that it is a bubbly town. The rest are showing dull, 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 dull. Like there are lots of to show us, but I'm guessing we'll continue another time because I'm out of time already. So Mr. Jide.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, we always continue. That way, we are not taking too much. So people already appreciating you. So thank you so very much. So everyone, let's just take it a step at a time so that we don't rush it. That's the thing we want to be doing now. So that once we take it a step at a time, you go through that. If you have questions, you would take that. So thank you so much again, Joseph. So Miriam,
You're welcome,
please,
sir.
over to you. Miriam, please, over to you. Miriam, your mic is muted.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, please. You can take it away. You can share your screen and just run.
Can you hear me? Okay, Mr. Ajide
Yes,
can hear me. Sir, can you hear me?
yes, yes.
Actually, we are teaching some Kurdish. Okay, sir.
All right. So we're waiting for your screen to come off. Then we'll just take it from there.
Yes. I'm still here. I'm trying to bring up my stuff.
All right. So everyone, while we wait for Miriam to share our screen, what are the things you've learned today based on what Joseph just showed us? You can drop it in the chat. And if you want to talk, please, you are free to talk. We can drop it on the chat. What are the things you learned? What are the things you gained? Because that's the benefit of doing these things. You can always drop that. Or Miriam, please, I know you're ready, so you can continue.
Okay, sir. So Joseph has already done the alias part. I'm not sure I need to do aliasing again.
Is there
Does
any new
anybody
thing
want me
you
to
want
do
to show us
aliasing?
from alias? You can show it. If you
Okay.
want to show another dimension, of course, yes.
Okay, that is just that one. There's no any
Okay.
dimension.
So no problem. You can go ahead then.
Okay. So what I want to do is subquery. There's nothing in subquery. Subquery just means that a query that is inside another query. Let's say I'm doing so let's say I have this. Probably so if I have this and then if I'm taking this away, I could replace it with something else. That's what subquery means, like a I'm just trying to really simplify it. So I can then put B and then any name of the column. This is just like a very simple version, but I'll call up some of the table and then we can do like a few exercises to show us what it really is. But subquery is just if you have a query inside another query. So that's what subquery is. Usually, most times, you can use a join or you can use a subquery. But there are some things that join cannot do for you, that you need to use subquery to do it. And there are other times that you can actually use your query that is already a join and then use it to do a subquery. I'll explain what that is also. So there are just a few rules to subquery or a few things to note. Subquery can come inside select, it can come inside from, and it can come inside where. Like this example that I did now, it came inside from. And then it can also be a part of a select statement. Like, okay, don't let me rush.
No, please don't rush. You know, if we don't finish it, we'll still continue. You get the point? So that people can learn bit by bit.
Okay, sir. And when you do subquery, it's just I'm saying these a few rules so that when we are doing it, then you already know the things that we are following. Instead of me doing it and we don't know what we are following. You can use example when you are doing subquery inside where, you can use equals to. But if you are using equals to, then it has to return something that is just one. Whatever is returning has to be just one column. It can't be returning several rows. If not, it's going to throw error. But if you are using in, exists, then these ones can give you like multiple rows. So I'll just try and bring up something, then we'll find what we can do. Really simple stuff so that we get it. Employees.
So while
So I
you are
have this.
dragging, thank you. Go ahead.
So I have these tables. The way I'm looking at it, when I'm working, what I try to do is, first of all, to understand the table I have, what type of data it has, and what solution am I trying to prefer. So because it's actually whatever I'm trying to do that will determine, will I be using join, will I be using subquery. But because we are starting very from basics, I can write a simple join, then I can also write a simple subquery so that we then build up on that. So let's say that we are looking for, there's employee. We're looking for employees that live in Germany. So this is the employee table. I can easily find it from one table. Okay. Right. So let's say we are looking for employees, customers, and the country of the employee. I just want us to be able to connect this table with this table. Usually, I'm not sure what I want to show.
Do you want to check, you want to run more than 3? Maybe you want to look at more than 3, right?
Okay, sir.
So that maybe
Okay,
if you
let me look
run,
at others.
so that maybe you'll be able to see that she's just trying to ensure that by the time she wants to write a code, what we actually need exactly would come back.
Okay.
Look at your sales. Good.
Okay. I can say that which customers made the highest orders. Yeah. So I'll be using customer table and the what's it called?
Order
The order
table.
table. So ideally, I would use a join and say select from So I want the customers that are the highest orders. In my customers table, I have contact name. So I'll say A dot contact name. And I'm looking for the highest orders. So I can say
So
max.
Miriam,
Sir?
let them understand that A that you type is an alias.
Okay, sir.
You know that we didn't
So
put AS, so that someone will not look like, what is that? Please let them understand.
okay, sir. So usually as A, this A now is an alias. You can decide to use anything you like. But me, I just like using alphabet because it's easier for me to just write A dot this, A dot that kind of thing. So that's why it's an alias. And aliasing will work either you put as or you don't put as. So this A now is representing my sales customers table. Anywhere I put A dot, because in SQL, you need to reference, you need to first put the name of the table, the name of the database, then the name of the table. So in this case, you see sales dot, this is the name of the, this is not the name of the database, this is the name of the schema, and then the name of the table itself. So if I was, well, that's not for this. So I will now put B dot, what I'm looking for, the highest freight. Freight is this, so I'll choose it. But the highest one I'm looking for, then I'll use max. Max is a function. I'll put it in bracket. Then I'll also alias. I can alias and say as, I can decide to put it in square brackets or not. So, but I'm putting it in square bracket because they've said that if you want to leave space, but they also advise that you should not leave space. But anyone that works for you.
No, you can use space. You know, for people that are seeing this for the first time, so that they can understand. I use space, I don't use AS. So that they don't look like, what is this? You get. But for
Okay.
readability's sake, you get
Yes,
the
sir.
point. So that I'd rather people see than to use shortcuts for the first time.
Yes, sir. Join B on, what do they both have in common? They both have customer ID in common. So I'll say on A dot customer ID, b dot customer ID. Then I'll group by, because this is a function already. If I run it, it may not work. So it's asking me to group because I didn't put this in group. Then I'm going to put group by.
So when you put group by, don't run it yet, because I want you
Okay,
to
sir.
break it down even for the first time, a first timer in SQL. You will
Okay, sir.
clarify, but I just want to say what this means. So for everyone,
Okay, sir.
in case this is looking like what is this, she will bring, let me speak layman language. Ignore, select just means bring. Now, it means bring what? What am I bringing? Help me, give me the customer, no, the contact name. Give me the name of the person, or give me the contact name. So when you are bringing contact name, also give me the maximum freight. Maximum means highest freight, right? And when you are bringing the highest freight for that customer, call it highest freight. That means name that customer highest freight that you are bringing. Give it a name. That's the meaning of as highest freight. Where am I bringing this from? We are bringing it from a table called sales.customer. All right. That is what that line means. Now, then you now join, meaning establish relationship, right? Just join the table. Join that with sales order, so that what they have in common is customer ID and customer ID. So because you are going to bring this back, if you don't group it, group means that instead of giving me, let's say, Miriam's salary in January, Miriam's salary in February, Miriam's salary in March, Miriam's salary in April, if you don't put group by, it will just bring Miriam, it will not work though. But you are saying group it, don't mention Miriam, just give me the total, but in this case, the highest salary of Miriam, see, highest salary of Joseph, the highest salary of Jide, the highest salary of Ganiya, instead of bringing Ganiya, Joseph. So group by will help us to shrink, to help us group and return that. I hope this makes sense. Miriam, I hope it makes sense. Just be sure.
Yeah, it makes sense. Fantastic. That's very nice. Thank you, sir. And one thing that will also help when we are moving forward. So because Mr. Ajide has explained this part now, I will also explain it so that we put it in mind. The way Mr. Ajide said, when you are querying anything, it's like you're telling your computer, go to this place. If you go there, what should I bring? Bring this, bring that. You can easily tell me, Miriam, buy something from Bodija Market. And I already know that, okay, yeah, I'll go to Bodija Market and pick something. Or if you say, give me the cup, I already know that the cup is in the kitchen. But the computer may not know, or it doesn't even know. So you have to tell it, go to the kitchen, open the cabinet. If you open the cabinet, you will see a white cup, that kind of thing. So usually, the major reason why they started using subquery and CTEs is because of the order of processing in SQL. Order of processing, meaning if you tell the computer, go to bring me a cup, it will ask you from where. So you can't just tell the computer that bring me a cup. It doesn't know where to bring it from. But I don't want to complicate the issue. So that where is actually the first thing that the system will run if there is a where in your query. But if there is no where in your query, then the computer knows that, okay, select this from the kitchen. You already put the kitchen. But if you now put like, I want to put
So maybe we should even run this for so that you can see it.
so for each person, this is the highest that they've bought. So this Eli Michael, you probably bought things from us different times, But this is okay. This is not what I want to bring. So that means this query is wrong. What I want is the person that has bought the highest from us. What's the name of that person? So now I'm going to speak Yoruba. This one is out of it. This is not the right query to bring out who actually has the highest of all our customers. But this list now is showing me each customer and how much they bought from us.
No,
Does
this list is
anybody?
showing you. No, this list is showing you the highest each of the customer bought.
Yes, this is what this list is
So
showing.
that,
but what I want is
because
actually
the query you write.
Yes, sir.
No, go ahead, you're fine. So that you don't say
Yes,
it's
so
actually wrong. Because this queries that you write,
I
that you
wrote
tell the
is
system to
right.
do. The system has returned the right thing, though. Because that you're
Yes.
saying is wrong. It's not wrong, everyone. It's just that what Miriam wants to get is not what the
It's not
so
what I
it's
got.
fine.
Yeah, so this query is valid in its own, is correct, but my intention, so let's say that Mr. Jide said, who scored the highest in chemistry? We can bring the person that scored the highest, or we should now say that, give me the list of the highest that you score in all the subjects. So you now have Miriam scored the highest in this, Ganiat scored highest in this. But actually, I want the person that scored highest overall. I don't want to see everybody else. It's only highest overall I want. So I'm thinking of it now.
So that instance, you already know that you need just one. I'm not going to help you. So you are not grouping in a way, but you only need one.
Yeah, I don't need to
So
join.
you only want to select, you get the point. You get the point. But that fright, where is it
It will be
coming
from
from?
others.
Okay.
So it's going to be
All
from
right.
others.
Good.
But the problem I'm going to have if I do it this way is
The
because
name.
contact name is not here. So now I can do customer ID. So I just want to put this out there. If I run this like this, it will work. Oh, why is it not working? Okay, group by.
Don't forget.
It will work, but there's no column name. So that's why I put the column name.
And you also need to remember, if you are bringing just one, do not forget the power that top has.
Yeah. So
All
I
right.
can also say, will it be top one a.customer ID from?
Okay, go ahead first. It's fine. Go ahead and check that. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. So I don't want to be canceling it so that we can share it. I'll just keep on rewriting. But yeah, the problem I would have if I did it this way is because I actually want the name of that person. So
But
who
the
is
name
this
is
person?
not exactly.
The name is not in this table. So how do I find the name? That was why I did the join. So I'll do the join again.
Well done, Miriam. Everyone, whatever she's doing right now is interesting. You want to, yeah. See, in short, me, I'm laughing and I'm happy because you excel. I mean, SQL is also lovely. Miriam, continue. Excel is lovely. Uh, we just need to know how to process this thing, and don't bother about whatever language anybody is using. If it is in your dialect, you can talk to this guy. Talk to it so that you know what you are querying, you know what you are asking for. Please, are we following? Because sincerely, these things are lovely. When you keep practicing and you do this, you make mistakes, you see some errors. Even someone that is driving can still make mistake. My point is that so there is no mistake, is just a room for improvement. So the point is, please let us pick up learnings from this. Please, if you are still following, you can show with the razor. We are going to finish in the next 10 minutes maximum. Don't worry. We don't have to finish everything today, but just know that this is lovely, right? Awesome.
So this
Awesome.
bit here, we've used the join, but we can also actually use a subquery. So like I said earlier, that subquery is a query inside another query. How to know what you need to do would depend on the complexity of what you are doing. That's when you know, because there are some things that you can easily use join, there are some things that you can easily use subquery. But with subquery now, how to know which one is the inner query and which one is the outer query. So you need to tackle it like it's a word problem. Like if you say we are all in class today and people have their salary, and there is somebody that has the highest salary. So we've done like this one is the highest. Then we want to know, okay, who is that person? If you don't want to use join. So the first thing that will come, you divide it into two. What are you looking for first? In this situation, actually, join is the best. But I'm just trying to let us use subquery so we can see that you can use subquery to do something, you can use join to do something. So you divide your question into bits. That's how you know which one will be the inner query and which one will be the outer query. So what are we looking for? We are looking for highest marks. We're looking for highest freight. So with the freight, what do we need? We need the name. So this name will be the one that I'm going to pass in as the inner query. No, this name would be the one that I'll pass in as the outer query, and this one will be the one I'll pass in as the inner query. I'll do it and see. So I'm going to say
Miriam, you have 6 minutes more. We don't have to finish it today, but you have to finish this part.
customers. So I'll say select from why is it not showing my spelling wrong? Okay, it's
What do
contact
you
name.
maybe you want to run? What do you want to pick from?
Is the
What
contact
column
name.
are you picking?
I'm
Okay,
just
look at
picking the
it.
name. Then I'll now say where customer ID, because my customer ID is here and my customer ID is also here, is equals to, then I'll now put a select. I'll say select max okay, it won't come up. So I've done something wrong here. Select contact name. What do I want? I want the name. Name of who? I want the name of the person that has the highest rate. And what's the name? Okay. So what I want to do is now to combine these two in a way that will give me a subquery. Okay. No. This one is not simple, it's now complex. So it just goes to show that in this case, the easiest thing would have been join and not subquery. Select customer can now be select. Control X. Mr. Jide, can you see anything wrong?
Yes, but
Where did I?
you are coming back. So everyone will stop here. Don't worry. So everyone, this is how it is. So there is no. So what is important is the process. If you're able to process what you want to do, maybe by noting down or you speak it in your language, you'll be able to figure out. Because if you do not know what you want to achieve, sometimes someone would not also know what your thought line or your part. I'm sure you understand what I mean. The what you want to really achieve. So everyone, do not worry. Like I said, this series continues. She has shown some things in some meaningful ways, and she just trying to show another way of doing that. So, but on this note, like I promised, I want us to stop because I want her to come back. She's not going to only show some queries. She would also, I mean, you're supposed to do 3 things. You've only done
I'm not
maybe
done
2 or
any.
so. How many are you supposed to? How many topics are you supposed to take?
I'm supposed to do subquery and view.
Yeah, exactly. So that would afford us another time. So you are coming to do subquery and view. You get the point. So let's leave it
Yes.
at that, so that we can have different dimensions and you can come and also show how people. So that
I can't hear again. No. Can everybody else hear him?
internet. Can we confirm that we can hear me?
We can hear you, Mr. Jide. And we can hear
All right.
Martin.
And so no problems. So we'll stop recording. What are the things you have learned today? Maria, did you learn anything? Sorry, Mary, did you learn something? Rafiat,
Yes,
Shay,
I put
please, what
something
are
in the
the
chat
things?
already.
Oh, great, great. Chidima, I hope you
And
learned something
subqueries too.
today. Good, good. I'm sure maybe our internet. So thank you, everyone. Let me stop recording as promised. So we